Seemantini, welcome. So thrilled to have you. I would like to start by the question about the role that you have played in Lowe's. 2 years after joining, you received the CIO of the Year award for the digital transformation that you undertook at Lowe's. Can you talk a little bit about that? Why did you feel that was important and how timely that was?
Perfect. So first of all, I would say, Dean Mili, it's so great to be here. I'm excited to be having this conversation with you when we are kind of forging ahead with our partnership. Thanks to you and Chancellor Gaber that we are at this place. So first of all, just really excited. To your question, I think from the very beginning when Marvin and I were talking about Lowe's and technology it plays in the transformation of the overall business, we always said that technology has to play a big and a leading role in making sure that Lowe's transformation is happening for its customers and associates. And as you know, our home improvement business, what customers really want is a combination of digital and physical experiences. And that's why digital transformation was very much in order. It was really needed. It had to be done very rapidly. We had to take a lot of calculated risk. And, we have just a really phenomenal team, a lot of support from Marvin, all my peers. And I feel really happy that we, embarked on this journey with a lot of energy, a lot of capital, of course, money helps. Talent. And I feel like we were just in time to kind of bring our transformation to bear when our customers needed it the most in middle of this pandemic. So I feel really happy about the progress we have made.
That's wonderful. That's really vision and a little bit of luck as well,
yes,
to be ready
yes,
on time.
Agree.
You touched a very important point, which is the intersection of technology and pretty much every domain.
Yes.
I know we have been hearing this from our advisory board members in the sense that they want our graduates to not just know their discipline of computing, but also to get immersed in the domain. And from your side, you have the domain and you say technology has to be part of everything. So a domain such as home improvement, where everything is about touching, feeling, smelling, and so forth, how do you go about deciding what is technology and what needs to remain in the physical world?
Agreed. And Fatma, you're so right. Like we need to have that right balance. And I think Lowe's being truly an omni-channel retailer, I think we are in a really good place to do that. So you're absolutely right. I think what the customers are asking us is give them the choice of deciding when do they want those physical experiences and when do they want to do something just sitting on their couch at home in the comfort of their house and just get something done. And what we are doing at Lowe's is making sure that we meet them where they are, as opposed to demanding that they come to the store or be on the couch. We want to leave the choice to them. I think what you bring up is a very important point. Your and my core competency and skills are in computing and, field of computer science and information technology. But I think we both realize that understanding the business really very closely at a detailed level is extremely important, because after all, technology is present to make business easier and to enable success in business. So what we have is part of technology team, also the product managers, software engineers, we have lots of UX design. Of course, we have data scientists, machine learning experts. And together what they try to understand is what does the customer really want? And then how do we design our solutions so that they fit the customer's need? So what we did was our stores are being continuously remodeled, just beautiful, and we want customers to have a great experience when they come. But then what we said is that we are going to empower them with the apps on their phone so that they can find what they want. They can do extended aisle shopping while they are in the stores, and of course have that physical in-person experience. We also improved tremendous technology for our associates. So our associates can help the customers when they are in physical experience. And just make sure that associates come across with their expertise. Because really, you're going to the store so you can get some expert advice. Home improvement is also a complex domain. It's intimidating. Sometimes you want to do this big project. You need a little bit of a confidence boost. So I think being there with the associate while the associate kind of helps you, advises you, and guides you is great. And then what we did was at home, when you are on your couch and you're browsing and you're trying to figure out what should I do for this project, then what we are doing is with how-to videos, with lots of content online, we are just making sure that we are offering you all the help we can, even when you're not with us physically. And so we really want to meet the customer where they are. And you're absolutely right. Whatever is our profession, understanding business so that we can really understand what the customer wants and then design solutions that's going to be really useful for them is important.
So I'm hearing seamless integration between the technology and the physical, and also personalized.
Yes.
And support. All of these are extremely important, and I can imagine very complex as well. So thanks to your leadership, Seemantini, and to others at Lowe's has been a very important partner for us. You're a business partner, you support the cybersecurity symposium. You are actually the title sponsor for the Women in Data Science. And now this very generous gift around artificial intelligence. Of course, we're very excited about this. And in the College of Computing and Informatics, we have about 24 faculty and graduate students working in all aspects related to artificial intelligence, whether it's data analytics, machine learning, data visualization, explainable AI, and I'm sure I'm missing a few. Can you tell me, how does this relate to Lowe's? Which aspects of AI are maybe relevant to you today, and which ones you see them as relevant in the future?
Absolutely. So, first of all, I will just tell you how excited we are about this partnership. You're so right. We have been always working together. And to me, this feels like just a next natural step of kind of continuing that close partnership. We are so excited. I mean, Fatma, when we were looking for a campus and we were traveling different cities, different places, regions of the country, we chose South End because we said, you know what, it's a great city. It's one of the top growing city when it comes to technology, talent, and economy. We also looked at South End and we said, hey, you have this environment of walk to work and stuff. And then you and I had lots of conversation about, hey, UNCC could be our academic partner right here in this city, very close to us. And that was a big influencing factor for us to say we are going to remain very committed to this region. We are going to build our office in South End. So I just feel like we have always been partnering, and this just feels like the next natural step. You are absolutely right. What we truly want to do with AI and ML is, I truly feel like every 15, 20 years, there is just a huge development. I mean, we are always doing continuous innovation, and in the field of informatics and computer science, like you said. But I think every so often there is just a really big inflection point, and I feel like this AI ML is a big inflection point for a couple of different reasons. First of all, the technology is at a place where it can be very successfully applied to business at scale. Because I think, maybe 5 years ago, people were talking about it, and people sort of got it as to what they could do with this technology, but they weren't quite sure as to how to apply it to the business problems. But I think we are at a place where we can actually have very practical applications at scale in the business sphere. I also feel like with academia in different corporations, we have developed expertise. So I feel like for the last 5 years or so, people have been kind of talking about, hey, how do I develop expertise in this field? And I feel like we are at a good inflection point now. And thirdly, I'll tell you, Fatma, I feel like customers are ready. I mean, I think customers are kind of getting it. And I think the best experience of AI ML, what we are going to do with partnership with you, And inside of Lowe's, what we are going to do is inject AI ML in lots of different products we develop. And I think what's going to happen at Lowe's is you will be enjoying the fruit of the labor of a data scientist without really realizing. I'll give you an example. We worked on something called as workforce management in Lowe's, which was all about we wanted to make sure our sales associates are deployed at the times which are most convenient to our customers. So we were looking at hourly sales and we were feeding it to this model along with lots of other signals. And we were trying to figure out that if we have our ace electrical associate, who really is the master in that field of, electrical in terms of home improvement, when should she be there in the stores? And we figured out the sales in that category, when are they happening, what is the propensity, and we said, you know what, it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, when the pros come in between 4 to 6 p.m. So, you know what, this person, this associate, who's so good at, giving advice, offering product help, she should be here between 4 to 6. So what we did was this workforce management, we made sure that the sales associate are there to help our customers at the right times. And so our associates in the stores use this model while they are, selecting their hours, they are selecting which shifts they should work for, and the product is nudging the store manager to kind of make the right decisions for the customers. But we are never announcing that, hey, there is AI or there is ML or there is data science. And it just happens because the user interface is so intuitive. I'm drilling down, I'm looking at different things. The product is nudging me to make certain choices. And that's what Lowe's wants to do, is we will have a lot of ML and AI injected in different products. But while using it, you may not even realize that you are actually using a very powerful model sitting behind the screen here. And but you'll get all the benefits. So that's what we want to do.
That's very impressive. But it is also a very good illustration of the fact that AI is becoming ubiquitous. Yes. It is everywhere, in places where we see it and in places where we do not see it. And one of the impacts of that is that it's changing our work. It's changing the nature of what we humans can do. And in many respects, it automates things that are not too much fun for humans to do. Yes. But also it means that for professionals, we have to have that agility to pivot and to say, I used to do this, that's no longer needed, now I have to learn to do something else. And you and I have talked about the 60-year education in the sense that we cannot just rely on, I got my degree, I'm done, but be ready to reinvent ourselves multiple times throughout our lives. How are you thinking about that within Lowe's, and what initiatives are you taking to make sure that, again, as the jobs change, so do the professionals?
I so agree with what you just said. I think, here's the important point. I don't understand, and you and I have talked about this compartmentalization of life. That as if I'm going to grow up, go to college, get my degree, and then I'm done. And then I'm going to go into the workforce, and whatever I learned between the ages of, 18 to 25 is somehow going to be enough for me between 25 and 65, right? And this boundaries that we have drawn around, okay, I learn and then I'm done learning. And then I work and I don't do anything else. I just have a hard time understanding this. Like, why is it that way? And I feel like we will need like a work and learning integration throughout our life. Because I think as human beings, we are curious by nature and we always are learning, even when we are not realizing we are learning, is one thing. Second thing I also feel is technology is a field which is always going to change, right? What we learn today is probably not as important 3 years from now. And what we learn 3 years from now won't be important, 7 years from now and stuff like that. So I think the field is very evolving. Heck, every meeting I go, I listen to 5 new buzzwords and I have to always go in the night and study and see, okay, what was this all about, right? So I feel like we have to inject working with continuous learning. And I feel like if we do that the right way, it would be a highly rewarding career for all of us. Because as you remember, when we left the academic world, right, when we all got our degrees, there is a bit of a sense of, oh my God, I'm leaving all this behind, and now I'm going to go to this work world, which is going to be very different. And I feel like we miss something by just saying, okay, I've completely detached myself now. And what we are going to do at Lowe's is have this work and learning integration where you are doing something, but then you're learning, then you're doing some more and you're learning. And then that way you can kind of keep yourself updated with technology. You also have this fulfilled sense of it's work and learning all together, goes hand in hand. And I feel like it's going to be great for our customers and associates because you are going to get service from Lowe's in terms of building technology, products, and platforms that are always going to be with a lot of customer empathy, with latest technology. And our associates are always going to be learning, and they are going to bring the best of technology to our customers and associates.
That is great to hear. I think we're fully aligned in the sense that, once our students graduate, we don't think of them as done. We hope that they really think of us as partners for life, and having companies such as Lowe's and its leadership think of it that way as well. We are eager to transform how higher education is seen and how it functions in collaboration with the employers. If I know there is another topic that you're also very passionate about, which is equity and inclusion. How can we partner with you to create more diverse workforce?
Yes, and Fatma, I think creating diverse workforce, it just feels great as a human being. Like you want to create a diverse workforce for sure, but I think it also makes a lot of business sense. And UNCC is one of the renowned leaders in this region for creating diverse talent out of your school in terms of ethnicities, gender, and we absolutely have the same goals. I'll give you an example. One time we were just talking about delivery experience of appliances, and we were just talking about, hey, how does this work? How is this going to go to the customer? And then somebody in the room, and she was a woman product manager, and she said, every time I get a washing machine, it causes me anxiety. And we were like, okay. And she wasn't just talking about washing machine, but any delivery that comes inside her house. And we were like, okay, tell us more about it. And then she said, you know what, I'm sure these are really nice people who are delivering us the stuff, but they are unknown to me, and if I'm alone at home, I'm a little bit kind of wary of, okay, I'm going to receive a delivery. Sometimes I ask my husband to be at home with me just because I'm going to receive a furniture delivery or something like that. And then suddenly the conversation in the room opened, and then another gentleman said, you know what, actually you're so right. Like last week, my daughter called me and said, Dad, can you come home because I'm to her apartment because she was going to receive a delivery. And then the conversation just was like, hey, there is something about giving more confidence to the customer when the delivery is coming. And then we pivoted that conversation to, hey, what if we gave a picture of the delivery driver and the crew? What if we told them this is the license plate of the truck? This is when exactly it is coming, right? What if we gave a little bit more information to make this experience just confidence inspiring, and then make it really fun and nice, as opposed to, oh my God, I'm worried I'm sitting here all alone at home and stuff like that. And so I feel, Fatma, if that product manager was not diverse, I don't know whether we would have had that rich discussion. And I don't know if we would have developed something so valuable for our customers. And so I could give you many other examples where I felt like there was diverse skill set in the room, and that added a lot of richness to the dialogue. And I truly feel that it's great for humanity and community, but it is also great for business. And what I feel is, we just talked about AI ML. We are at such an inflection point that if we did not have diverse talent in that field included from now on, I mean, we are maybe already late to the party, but if we didn't include them right now, I feel like that field will get developed sort of kind of in one direction or one dimension, and we need to bring that richness in that field because we'll need inclusive data in order to build an inclusive model and to make inclusive decisions. And unless and until we had people of all kinds being represented, we will not get there. And I feel so strongly about that we need to have diverse workforce.
Very interesting example. So, Seemantini, some of the attendees or all of our PhD students actually are attending this talk. Do you have any advice for them?
Fatma, the kids these days are so smart. I'm like having trouble giving them advice anymore. Like they seem to know so much, and they have, I would just say your point about continuous learning. And I think it's a very interesting and inspiring point. I don't mean to say that to put more work on people who are already overworked probably and already kind of feel like, hey, I'm doing so much already. And I don't think it's about increasing time or the amount of time you're spending. But I would say carve out time for learning every day, whether it's a little article you read or whether you pick up the phone and call somebody who was not on your schedule, right? Many times I think reverse mentoring helps a lot for me because I have lots of talented people at Lowe's. And many times I just call them and say, hey, tell me more about this. I pick their brain and I learn something new out of it. And that's really learning for me. And then, of course, sometimes it is more formal, which is attending a course, sitting down in a classroom. Sometimes it's about reading a book. And I would say continue to find all these different avenues. We are very lucky to be in this time and place where we have all these modes of learning, which was not there when I was going to school. The only way to learn was to go to library, pick physical books, and go sit in the classroom. So I feel like if there was any time for learning, my God, this is like we are kids in a candy store. And I think we should take as much advantage of learning and be continuous learners. And I also feel like today's generation has so much opportunity to have real impact and truly make changes to the status quo. So I just encourage everybody to do that.
Wonderful. Seemantini, thank you so much. First of all, thank you for being here with us today. And thank you again for the generous partnership with us around artificial intelligence and around all of the other initiatives. We're really looking forward to the rest of the event today, as well as all of the exciting projects that will emerge out of this.
Absolutely. I'm so excited about the event you're having, and I think this is like a learning event, right? So this itself is a great learning experience. I'm so looking forward to the partnership, and thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you again.